original bus, about 15% old material, but from other buses. And really, if you think about just the tires, the glass, and the paint, and the upholstery, it's about 10% new material. But we were able to track the bus down through 2 different serial numbers used to identify it, so we know exactly its history. It had been purchased by a man in Montgomery in 1971 who knew, he was told it was the Rosa Parks bus. He had kept it in his family in a field outside, but no one else would believe him because all he had was word of mouth. So he told lots of people it was the Rosa Parks bus, but nobody would believe him. And in 2001, new evidence, a scrapbook that had been maintained by the Montgomery City bus lines, in which the station manager had made some notes next to newspaper articles. And the notes he made in that scrapbook pointed to this bus, and it just so happened that across town, here was the bus with the same numbers on it. So that's the evidence that this is the Rosa Parks bus. And that was only discovered in 2001. And then the family that owned it actually put it up for public auction. We bought the bus at auction, bidding against other institutions that wanted it.
How much did you pay for the bus?
The museum had to pay $492,000 to acquire the bus.
Who did you outbid?
The last bidder was the city of Denver, Colorado, which wanted the bus as a centerpiece for an African American research library. Our understanding, although this is private, our understanding is that the 3rd bidder was the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
How many times have Rosa been on the since it's been
Mrs. Parks was able to see the bus in December 1st, 2001, before it was restored. But and at that time she was already in a wheelchair and really wasn't able to say much at that event.
Did she ever enter it?
She was never able to enter the bus, ma'am. No, and she never saw it when it was restored.
Wow.
She didn't make very many public appearances at all, if you'll remember, in the last couple of years.
Right.
And we only had the bus restored in 2003.
Okay.
So Mrs. Parks saw it before it was restored, but not since.
Oh, okay.
How many people can fit on there? How many seats?
It's a 36-passenger bus. It's an absolutely standard, traditional General Motors 36-passenger bus. They made them 48-passenger and 36-passenger in those days. This is a 36-passenger style, made here in Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh.
What is the cost of the restoration?
The restoration, on top of the original acquisition cost, we spent $300,000 more to restore the bus. And I always say that if you add those 2 figures up, that's simply a measure of how important we think this artifact is and how much we wanted to keep it in the Detroit area.
It's ironic that it's here. You guys did a good job outbidding everyone else.
We were committed to outbid everyone else. We were. That wasn't luck. That was commitment on our institution's part.
Was there a maximum price for the bidding of the bus, or did you know that you were going to outbid everyone that day?
We had no idea that we would. We actually thought that there would be many other bidders, and we thought it was entirely possible the bus would go for a lot more than it did. We were prepared to bid more, but we didn't have to, and so I don't know how far we were willing to go.
Awesome. Thank you.